What's going on, guys? Dr. Andrew Fix back here on the code, coming to you again from the Pathfinder today, recording this episode. As you know, I'm from Physio Room. We've got the shirt on today. And I just have a really short, simple concept episode for you guys today. And this came in spirit of, my wife Erin and I have been watching a lot of the Olympics coverage. It's like 4 days in or whatever it is now. And man, we were watching gymnastics last night, and these performances that we're seeing are just like absolutely mind-blowing. Now, granted, I didn't grow up doing gymnastics or swimming. I sink like a rock. So watching these people setting these Olympic and world record style performances in the pool, it's just like, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't even come close to what they're doing, right? I feel like I could train and I couldn't even come within like 30 seconds of what they're doing in this down and back 100-meter swim, for example. And I think it's really easy when we watch individuals or teams competing like this. We're watching people competing at an extremely high level where, we've been waiting for years to watch the Olympics. These folks are out there just putting on these unbelievable performances. And it's easy to compare yourself and think, well, I can't do that, so what's the point, right? And maybe it's not the Olympics, the athletes in the Olympics that you're comparing yourself to, but maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your family, maybe it's the other people that you see on social media and you see all the great things that they're highlighting about their life. And then you find yourself comparing to what they're doing, or at least what they're portraying out there, and potentially getting a little bit discouraged, right? I know I've been guilty of this. I've looked at other people in the same space or in an adjacent space to the profession and career that I have. And from what I see, at least on social media, or what I hear or something like that, it's easy to look at them and say, well, shoot, how come I'm not doing that? How come I didn't think of that idea? How come, I didn't decide to move to that place, or why didn't I apply for that job or something like that? And what's that saying, that comparison is the thief of joy? And I forget without looking it up, like who said that, but man, I think it is so true, because it's so easy to compare yourself to other people, to compare yourself even to your past self. Like, you've heard people say, and I've even been guilty of this too, and say, well, shoot, when I was back in my 20s, I could do this and I could do this. And, though that may be true, the unfortunate or fortunate reality is we're not anymore, right? I'm not back in my 20s. I don't have exactly the same athletic abilities that I had then, but what I do have is a lot more life experience. I have a lot more life smarts. I have a son now, and that's an experience and a joy that I didn't get to experience when I was in my 20s. So, there's a lot of things that if you find yourself comparing to what you used to be able to do, or what you used to feel like or something, well, there's a lot of good things that have come from where you're at now too, and you can't forget those when we're comparing this one facet. And I think one of the other things that's true is those people that you might be comparing yourself to, well, they're probably doing the same thing, right? They probably find themselves, maybe they're comparing themselves to you and they think that you're doing an awesome job. Or maybe they're comparing themselves to other people. And one thing that is true is there's nobody that I'm aware of that is probably out there that has what appears to be a ton of success, that did not go through a ton of hard work and grinding and, some failures and setbacks along the way to get to where they actually are now. It wasn't like they just woke up out of bed one day and just, they flipped the magic switch and then their life was just perfect, or what we picture to be perfect. They've gone through a lot of hard stuff to get there, and we've gone through a lot of hard stuff, and we'll continue to go through more in our life to achieve the things that we want to achieve. So, if you're like me and you're watching the Olympics and you're looking at these stellar athletes doing these amazing feats, you find yourself comparing and you're like, man, how come I can't do that? How come I didn't get myself to a point like this? Just take a moment, pause, just enjoy watching them and enjoy the moment of like watching people compete. And then that doesn't have to detract or take away from like the journey that you're on, right? We are all on a journey to just try to be 1% better than we were the day before. And what they're doing doesn't have any bearing, positive or negative, on our ability to go do that, right? We can still go do that. We can still wake up tomorrow, try to improve upon what we did today. there's going to be setbacks and failures along the way, but don't let comparison, however that might show up in your life, be the thief of your joy. Like, go do the things that you want to do, work towards the things that you want to do. And I hope you like this episode. Hope you like this conversation. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Olympics. It'll be closer to being over by the time this podcast comes out. And I just appreciate, as always, you guys being here, tuning in to listen to this. And if you've not already done so, whether this is your first episode with us on the code, whether you've been here for a whole lot of them over the past few years, if you would be so kind to go and drop a review on here to help us get this show in front of more and more people, that would be hugely beneficial and hugely appreciated. So scroll to the review section on whatever platform you're on, drop a review, and we hope that we catch you on another episode.